Are you getting the right insurance coverage for your rehab projects? Today's the day that we're going to shed some light on some of the features of a good builder's risk insurance policy and why you, as a rehabber, need to have one for your next project. Insurance policies can run more than 50 pages, and there's a lot of complexity. So we're going to break it down to a few bullet points that are the most important features for you to look at. The first most important section you're going to find on your policy is the declarations page. This is going to give you the policy period, the expiration date, the amount of coverages, the limits per type of coverage, the job site. So all of the most primary information will be on the declarations page. And then we're going to get into some of the meat of the contract itself. The first section besides the declaration page that you want to look for is the course of construction clause. You want to make sure that your policy has coverage if the house is under construction. A typical homeowner's policy or a renter's policy do not cover your house if it burns down or is vandalized. If you don't have course of construction coverage, whatever happened to the project may not be covered by your policy. The next section you always want to make sure that you review is the covered perils section. So you're going to go through the covered perils and you're going to read through it and see if you have wind and fire and flood and a list of other perils and make sure they're covered. So some properties you may buy may be close to a river. They may be close to some other natural situation that you want to protect for. Read through your covered perils and make sure that you are actually covered there, because not every policy is the same and it's something you're going to need to review on every one. Okay, now we're down to the requirements section. You need to know what you need to do in case you ever need to make a claim. So when it comes time for a claim, it's something that we all hope never happens, and more often than not, it never does. But when the time comes that you do need to file, there's a list of requirements of things that you need to do, and if you miss deadlines or don't have some of the things that they require, you won't have coverage. So a good example of that is receipts, and every transaction that you have, check registers and bank transactions, you need to have record of all of that to prove to the insurance company what you've spent on the house. The other thing is there are deadlines of when you notify the insurance company of a loss, so make sure you understand the requirements on your policy. The last most important section that you want to look at on the policy is the coverage limitations and occupancy and use. On the coverage limitations, if you don't have coverage for certain things that you're going to be doing on this house, those are going to be listed in that section, and you need to review your plan with the coverage limitations and make sure there's nothing that is excluded there. And the last thing is occupancy and use. So a builder's risk policy does not allow you to live in the house and doesn't allow you to put a tenant in the house. So if you decide and you switch plans, you're going to put a tenant in the house and start collecting rent, you can't keep your builder's risk policy. If they knock something over and burn the house down, you're not covered. So there's a whole lot more to insurance contracts than just this short list. Start with these items and always consult your agent. Click the link on the screen if you have any questions about your insurance or you'd like to discuss your next deal. Go to northoakinvestment.com/contact, and we'll see you on the flip side.